Hey you guys, so it's been a minute since I did any pregnancy update or pretty much posted anything. I think my last pregnancy update was at 35 weeks and there is a lot to update, so I'm going to try to run through this as quickly as I can. First, I'm still congested from the bronchitis and sinusitis that I had over the past couple weeks. That is pretty much the reason I haven't done any recording, because I have been so sick. And then Noah caught the sinusitis I had, and then Bella had a cold, and then my husband got a cold, and it was just a lot of sickness going on. But we're all getting, Noah's all better, and I'm still getting over the congestion and whatnot. Now, so moving on from that, some of the dry skin has returned back to my hands, but that's not a big deal. And then the other thing, which is the major thing at this point, I am 38 weeks and 3 days today, and I had an ultrasound today. Well, before I get to that, starting last Sunday, I've been getting contractions on and off, and for a while they were in a really good pattern, somewhere about 3 to 5 minutes apart. So I ended up going to the hospital on Wednesday, and I was told that I am in the early stages of labor, but my cervix is just not favorable at all. I'm pretty much just not even effaced at all, and I'm only 1 centimeter dilated, so there's not really much anything that can be done, but kind of just wait it out is what I was told. And then I saw my OB on Thursday, and she said the same thing. However, I had an ultrasound today, and a couple things happened. Number one, throughout the past week or two, my glucose levels have been very low. Now, I usually tend to have lower glucose levels, but they're even low for me. So, like for example, after a full meal, and this is with me adding extra carbs and probably eating some things that I probably shouldn't have normally been eating with a diabetic diet, my glucose levels are still low. So for breakfast, for example, after breakfast today, they were at 79 milligrams? Yeah, per deciliter. So considering that they're supposed to be between 100 and 120, my glucose levels are really low. On certain meals, even I've made it maybe in the 60s, and they're just very low. Fasting, I've also had really low glucose levels. For example, I've had a couple in the 50s. So it's just not, my levels are not anywhere where they should be, and that is a concern. They're not overly concerned because not every number is coming up that way, but they're concerned enough they're going to keep an eye on it. And on top of that, the baby in the initial ultrasound that we had, she's measuring well, but she failed her breathing and movement in the ultrasound, so I had to do kind of an impromptu non-stress test. She did pass everything there during that test, but again, because my glucose levels are so low, there's a concern that the placenta is no longer working the way it should. And since I'm almost 39 weeks, once I hit 39 weeks, they're thinking that there's a big possibility we're just going to go ahead and do an induction at 39 weeks, because past that, it's not really much of a benefit or a detriment to the baby unless something's going on with the placenta. And then at that point, it is dangerous, because if the placenta's not working well, then she's not getting her nutrients, and then it's not worth waiting it out to see if what my body will do naturally. At that point, it's kind of just, I'd rather be safe than sorry and go ahead and do the induction at 39 weeks so that we can get her out safely and make sure that everything's okay. So that's what's going on. I do have an appointment with my OB on Monday, and we will discuss what we can do. Maybe I will have her strip my membranes. I will talk to her about doing that, or kind of giving me a nudge if I haven't gone into labor, then spontaneously in that direction of labor. But other than that, it looks like a very good possibility that we will be inducing sometime this upcoming week rather than the following week at my due date, because with my glucose levels being so low, if they continue to be so low, at that point it is a concern, and then it's not worth waiting it out. So that's what's going on with the pregnancy. We're just keeping an eye on things right now. I mean, it's okay, but it's not necessarily the greatest scenario. And it's kind of crazy because during the time that you have gestational diabetes, the concern and the focus is if you have high glucose levels. But it's never really discussed what can happen or what it might be like if you have low glucose levels or why that might happen. So it's kind of just, I don't know, kind of crazy to me. But that's where we stand. That's what it's looking like. It's looking like a decent possibility that we're having an induction at 39 weeks versus at 40 weeks. And I am okay with that. I know that I initially really wanted to let things progress as naturally as possible and just avoid Pitocin and avoid all of that. But to be honest with you, if there's an issue, and my intuition has been telling me that there's an issue going on for a while, just because I don't like the numbers that are coming up with my glucose levels. Those are really concerning to me. And the fact that today she was moving so minimal. They had to get a stimulator and kind of vibrate my stomach to wake her up. And then she started moving and everything was fine on the non-stress test. But I don't know, it's not ideal. It's not exactly where I would like it to be. So I am more than okay with an induction at 39 weeks if it means getting her out safely. And with an induction, I can still manage to have as much of a natural delivery as possible. And I am really okay with that. So anyway, I'm going to give you a belly shot. I know that was kind of just running through things. And it was a lot there to talk about. But anyway, this is me at my husband's recording. So let's see how good of a shot I can give him. This is me at 38 and 3 weeks along. 3 days. 38, oh my goodness. 38 weeks and 3 days along.
Turn sideways.
This way?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Noticeable.
This, I don't know if you want to get a front. Oh my god, I'm getting a contraction right now. That's a little bit on the painful side here.
Yeah. No, I got you. You're good.
So this is it, guys. I will keep you updated. I will post something up on Monday related to the pregnancy. And I'll let you know what's going on. So I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.